Good morning. It's Monday, June 16th. I think it's almost 10 in the morning. Just had my shower. Usually my shower makes me feel better, makes me feel alive and whole and happy. I don't know why, because oftentimes it's scary in the shower. The optical illusions that take place in such a small area, and I'm such a big person that and I'm in an apartment, so it's a really small tub, and if I stand facing the shower, one shoulder's like against the wall, the other shoulder's against the plastic shower curtain. So it's a very small space, and sometimes I don't do as well with optical illusions as others. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to make sure this is recording. Yeah, it is. Oh, you can see my legs. Anyway, you know how like you're sitting at a stoplight and the car next to you starts to move forward and it makes you feel like you're rolling backwards? It's optical illusions like that. Sorry. Maybe one of these days I'll get a tripod. Anyway, so it's in the shower. The shower curtain will move if, with the air currents from the flowing water and from the air conditioning or heating. And it makes me feel like I'm not steady on my feet. And so I think my brain can't process optical illusions like that very well. Movement, because even like sitting still, and I'll show you here, I'll just kind of start to move to the side, and that will bother me immensely. It makes me feel like I'm falling, or like when I sit up on the edge of a bed, sometimes, you just naturally lean back, especially like if in the middle of the night when I'm putting my feet into my sandals so I can walk to the bathroom because I don't like to go barefoot. I'll lean back as I'm doing that, and it'll make me feel like I'm falling. Which causes a little bit of a panic. So anyway, it's surprising that the shower makes me feel so good because, like I said, often there's optical illusions in there that bother me. The water is highly chlorinated, especially after a bunch of good rains, and we've had a lot of good rains lately, so that's not good. On those days, I just jump in and out as quickly as possible, sometimes just take sink baths. So I kind of got off on a rabbit trail, sorry. I just was really emotional this morning, so it wasn't as good a shower as it normally is for me. I'm just tired. It's very common for me to be emotional when I've been triggered, so I'm chalking all of this up to having been triggered. I'm not sure by what. I'm still not 100% sure it's not the garden produce or the farmer's market produce. We'll see. Anyway, definitely been exposed to some chemical because now I'm starting the emotional time, and I don't think I've ever filmed that. It's hard to explain. All my life I've been scared of mental illness, which is hilarious because, oh my God, it runs rampant in my family. My son, my late husband, my mother, my father, my birth mother, nature or nurture, I was screwed from the beginning, and me, honestly, and me. That's why I get so upset when I think about how it was implied several times, well, no, just outright said several times in the Social Security rejection letter that, I have a somatoform disorder. I do not, but I understand why they would say that, because in their little boxed up little world, they don't recognize MCS. But part of MCS for a lot of people is heightened emotions. More, in my case, the emotions that are heightened are the negative ones. So I get really sad and I get depressed. And I can say that word, depressed, because I used to be terrified of admitting that I had depression issues. And I do. I don't think I'm clinically depressed. I don't think I'm the kind of depressed that needs medication. I think I'm situationally depressed. And I've noticed through the years that when I was depressed after my husband died. Who isn't when their husband dies? I was depressed after I found out I had cancer. Good reason to be depressed. I was depressed after my daughter was taken from me, which is a whole nother story and a whole nother website and a whole nother blog. It's hopefully going to be a book someday, but that's a long, like I said, long story. Through lies and manipulations, I lost my youngest daughter. I don't think by any fault of my own. I think it was more, well, she staged her own kidnapping. Let's just put it that way. In any case, I guess I should say she didn't do it, her cousin did it, blah, 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 because I'm sure my daughter will watch us at some point, and she'll get pissed off and not talk to me for days. Okay, whatever. Anyway, moving on. This is about me. Me. So I got sad and depressed after that. That was a really hard one. That was the toughest thing I've ever been through in my entire life. I was depressed. Rightly so. I got my peace back after I let go of all of that mess. And I do have days when I'm content, and I have days when I'm peaceful in my heart, and those are the days when I've stayed away from chemicals. So I think there's a huge correlation between chemical triggers and emotions. And a lot of people in my MCS groups agree. It's a common symptom. So anyway, today is, well, apparently started out to be my sad day. Now it's going back to being my angry day. Yeah. So much fun. No brain. Trapped in this house. I was watching a show last night. It's called The Incredible Dr. Pol. I love it. It's a show about a veterinarian in the country in, I think, Michigan? I can't remember. Up north from me in Missouri. Anyway, I finally realized why I love the show so much. Aside from the fact that I believe I was born to be a country girl, and I love the sight of cows and horses and farms and gardens and green and fields and great big blue skies. Love all of that. My heart yearns for it. I was missing the sense of community that is in that little veterinarian's office, and within the clients and the doctor, and then in the town they had a county fair. That whole small town country life. I long for that, but it's the sense of community that I miss, and I was so sad when I figured that out, because even if I lived in the same hometown, even if I lived next door to Dr. Pol, sorry for the buzzing, I don't know how to make that not happen. Even if I lived in the same town as Dr. Pol, right next to him, I wouldn't have that sense of community because I'm trapped in my house. A lot of us people that have MCS, we have to deal with that. And I don't know what the suicide rate is for people with MCS, but I've read several different places it's incredibly high. For any kind of a physical disorder, it's very high. And it's the isolation of it, and knowing that for most of us, the only thing that will ever cure, quote unquote, us is isolation, is to stay away, avoidance. There's no pill we can take that'll make us better. There's no shot, there's no surgery, there's no treatment. It's just staying away. I mean, yeah, we can eat better, and that helps. We can drink pure water, that helps. One doctor that I've seen has a supplement cocktail, which of course I can't afford because I'm broke and I have no job. But he says it does help. I mean, there are things that help, but bottom line, it never goes away. It never goes away. This is the rest of my life. And it will just keep getting worse and worse, because with each exposure, you don't build up a tolerance for it. You just build up a level of toxins in your body. Yeah, there are people that say they have things, neural retraining and different things that cure a person, and I've honestly and truly have not looked into them because I don't want to get my hopes up on something that I can't even afford to try. So I just don't look at it. Maybe someday I will. But this is me. I'm really surprised I haven't started crying yet. I've been bawling already this morning. Anyway, oh yeah. So, welcome to my world. hope that you are just an outsider looking in and not somebody that knows my pain, because it sucks. It really sucks. Anyway, so I'm hoping that maybe later my day will start to feel better. One of the first things I do every morning, and I've gotten away from it, I'm going to get back on track today, is to read my Bible, because that helps. It helps me to know that God has a purpose and a plan for my life. Although, I have to be real honest with you right now, I have no clue what that is. I suppose that it could be worse. I need to be grateful for what I have. So I'm feeling grouchy. I'll name 5 things I'm grateful for. I am grateful. Okay, aside from God and Christ's salvation, those are always unspoken gratefulness things. I'm grateful for my kids. I love them. They are amazing people. I am grateful that I have a roof over my head. I am grateful I have food. I'm grateful, that's 3. I'm grateful I have clothes. I think actually that's something that the rest of the nation should be grateful for. I'm grateful that I do have the internet so I can connect with people like you and like my other MCS friends. Grateful for the hot shower I had. Grateful that I have a TV and a computer to entertain me. A lot of people don't. I'm grateful that my reactions are not worse than they are, and I think that's a lot more than 5. But I am grateful for a lot. Grateful for the few friends that I have left. Anyway, alright, enough wallowing. I'm going to try to find something constructive to do today, even though I am bored out of my flippin' head. Maybe I'll actually make the blog that this can go on. We'll see. God bless. Bye.